So FOTA stands for Festival of the Arts. So we are a student-run organisation. We've been running for 50 years. This is our 50th anniversary. We work with student artists, RSOs from all over campus. So undergraduates, graduates, faculty members, staff members. So we work with artists who are in the visual arts, regardless of their medium. We work with dancers, performers, musicians. I think it really represents the entire spectrum of creativity at UChicago. So we have visual artists, we have painters, we have musicians, we have singers, we have slam poets, we have dancers, we have people who are participating in multiple of our events. This year, I believe we have 30 artists who applied to our general call for admissions, but we work with MODA, which is one of the really big events. So we host, I think, around 10 of their designers, which are part of their design program boot camp. And then each year it depends on which RSOs are free and want to work with us. So this year we have probably more than usual because we're celebrating our 50th anniversary and we want to make sure it's really, really awesome.
So I'm Kat. I am a third year, I just forgot what year I was in, a third year double major in math and economics.
My name is Faina Duke. I'm a first year graduate student in the MAPS program, which is Masters in Social Sciences, and it's a one-year program, and I specialize in sociology.
My name is Stephen Lurie. I'm a fourth year in the college studying political science.
I'm Jennifer Chukwu. I'm a first year and possibly an English and art history major.
My name is Alice Bucknell. I'm a second year. I'm planning on majoring in visual arts, anthropology, and minoring in gender studies.
I'm a second year. My name is Naomi Harris. No idea. Possibly English literature, but I also study a lot of dead languages, so Hittite.
My name is Josh. I'm a fourth year majoring in philosophy and allied fields. My allied field is cognitive science.
My name is Vivian Sin. I'm majoring in economics. I'm a fourth year at college.
My name's Wendy Wei. I'm a second year. I'm a double major in political science and visual arts.
I'm Nikki Cherry. I'm a third year and I'm majoring in visual arts.
I'm Allie Torum. I transferred here this past fall, so I'm a second year transfer, and I'm undecided.
I'm Brian Liu. I'm a second year, and I'm planning on majoring in psychology.
My name's Eric Stutz. I'm a graduate student in the Department of Geophysical Sciences. I study atmospheric physics.
So I'm Eugenia Pan. I'm a first year in the college, and I'm studying mathematics and economics.
I'm Kyle Gannon. I'm a second year in the college. I'm a philosophy mathematics major.
My name is Tyler Morris. I'm a third year here, technically first year. I just transferred from Hamilton College, but I'm an economics major.
My name is Jessica Colville. I'm a first year here. I come from Pampa, Texas, and I'm planning on majoring in English literature.
Okay, my name is Vita, and I am a fourth year undergraduate, and I'm majoring in art history and anthropology.
My name is Ty Turley, and I'm a PhD student in economics, and I'm finishing this year.
My name's Anita Toe. I'm a third year biology and visual arts double major.
My name is Jane Fentress, and I'm a third year, majoring in English and visual arts.
Okay, my name is Alba Tomasuli y Garcia. I'm a fourth year English major here at the university, and hey, just getting ready to graduate.
I'm Autumn Meconico. I'm a fourth year theater and performance studies major.
It's called The Things I Felt, and it is a series of black and white film photographs.
My project is called Looking In, and it's oil and watercolor paintings.
I'd say it's a found object, conceptual art piece, and the medium is particularly checkout slips from library books.
My project is called Eruption. The medium is a desk, and I'm writing on it in a permanent marker.
It's called We Who Paint. And it's, the full title, I guess, is We Who Paint, Anthropomorphic Painting with Outside the Lines.
It's called The Night Sky Milonga, and it's not so much a performance or a project, but it's an event.
My project is in the medium of sound, and along with sound
interfacing with technology. It's a brain-computer interface, basically.
I've yet to have a title in the process of creating that, but what it will be is a series of paintings that are inspired by the themes taken from the Common Core, so mainly Social and Hume, so very universal and timeless themes that I think everyone can connect with.
My project is called Dreamscape. I am painting a series of 4 oil paintings.
It's called That's a Beautiful Moment.
So the subject is different portraits of people. Some of them are combination. It's like a mural of different people in different poses.
It's going to be a large grid of sort of pink and white slips that will create a substitute map of Hyde Park. So maybe 8 feet by 15 feet, sort of a soccer goal-sized map that has cards in place of where past University of Chicago community members have lived and the books that they've read from those days. And most of these are from the 60s, 70s, 80s.
In college, we have like all these like experiences, and it's kind of like an eruption. So covering the deaths is going to be a bunch of stories from people who go to the university, people I like met from other places, kind of describe their most vivid college experience. And then underneath the desk is going to be this cast of like a model I have, and it's supposed to symbolize like how like this eruption happens, like the eruptions that happen in like Pompeii, kind of like really like, you know, like fossilizes a person.
It's a figure drawing event. Essentially, people will be like looking at a model and reproducing her image like on long pieces of canvas that are stretched around her. It's sort of like the idea of like looking at the human body and reproducing that body in one's like mind's eye by using the physical like limits of their own body.
Milonga is a tango social dance, and the idea is that we'll have it in a very tall building with large windows, and we'll attach LED lights, battery operated, to like our arms and our legs, and then we'll dance tango. And it should be really cool because it'll like look like we're dancing in the sky.
The nice thing about this piece is it will be multiply realized across multiple performers, because all you need to perform it is a brain and this little headset thing.
It's inspired by my trip to Peru over the summer. I went to the Andean mountains for about 3 days, and I just loved being high up compared to Illinois, where I'm from. It's just very flat and not that exciting. So it just felt like a different world, and I wanted to portray that in a painting.
At first I wanted to draw people who inspire me, because I've met so many here, and sort of like honoring the community, but then I figured it would be more fun to engage the community like on another level. So instead I made it so that I solicited people for a name of someone on campus who inspires them, and the reasons why.
Okay, so the project's called Well Met, and the medium is Polaroid film. So basically I just take portraits of people I know, and then I let the subjects write maybe a sentence or two. Like, it can really be anything. These are two of my dance friends. So it was just like taken in the dance studio, and then they wrote, one wrote dance more XO, and one wrote #swag. And then I just put the Polaroids around campus. I wanted to like sort of remove the distance between like someone you don't know. So like if you see someone, I don't know, I'm trying to get rid of like the idea of a stranger, and like it's really like theoretical, it's not actually gonna happen, but like that's basically like the general idea.
So I'm calling it Ergon. It is a digital art project that started off as a project I did for a class in chaos theory, an undergraduate.
Well, the piece is entitled Steeped in Love, which is a play on words because the piece itself is a chandelier made of tea bags.
But I don't really have a name. I'm just sitting in a room and I'm typing on a typewriter for 20 hours.
The project really centered around my my guitar playing. And what I do is I build an instrumental track on my computer through synthetic instruments or recording things right on there, and then in a live setting I'll leave some room to actually play on my guitar over it. So I mean that's the theme, if you could call it that, for the project. It's a bunch of instrumental pieces and then myself playing guitar over them.
I just titled it Spoken Poetry. I think that's something that I've more recently gotten into. I know that I come from a very small town, and spoken poetry just isn't as known or given as much opportunity as in these bigger cities.
The name of my project is Promise, and what I'm working on right now is I'm planning on making a wire sculpture of a finger, and it's this kind of like very traditional kind of almost old wives' tale where like little kids like tie a string around their finger so that they could remember a promise that they made or remember something.
I don't know if it has a name, but it's going to be 6 wooden sculptures that are going to be shaped like writing instruments probably, and each one represents 1 year of my PhD program, and it's going to have inscribed on it something that I was writing that academic year. And then it's also going to be, it's going to have something written by a victim of someone who was murdered within a few miles.
My project is tentatively called Histories of the Subconscious, and it's basically 3 canvas pieces that are the size of a bed.
So I'm building a tower on the quads. I don't have a name yet, but I guess it's a sculpture / installation, and it's going to be made out of bed sheets, and I think the internal structure will be like a latticed PVC piping.
My project is entitled 13, and the main focus of it is to create 13 different images of 13 species that have gone extinct within the first 13 years of this century.
It's called The Nemone. It's adapted from the world of a short story by Robert Sheckley. So it's a performance installation in the form of different scenes happening on different days in places around campus, with marked by installations of altered books and propaganda set up around the spaces.
What it is the visualization of the output of a simulation of a chaotic system. So there's a class of systems called billiard ball simulations that basically just track the motion of an object bouncing around inside of a polygon. So the project initially was looking at the relationship between the shape of the polygon and how chaotic the motion inside that polygon was. The way it's measured is with a metric called ergodicity, which is, the best way to explain it is that a shape with high ergodicity, the motion inside the polygon is very chaotic, meaning all kinds of collisions with the walls happen. Every combination of angle and location happens. If it's got low ergodicity, only a few happen. Like the ball or object might just bounce around and repeat the same pattern over and over again. So it's just a visualization of how that relates to the shape. And what I discovered is that you can actually map that in 2 dimensions and make an image. And I thought initially that it would just be random noise. But what I found is that it actually makes really interesting, very non-random patterns that you can visualize by saying, okay, this pixel is this polygon. If it's got high ergodicity, we're going to make it very dark. If it's got low ergodicity, we're going to make it very light. So even with just a grayscale, you can make images that make these really otherworldly, strange patterns that, to me, were beautiful.
Tea has always been a really big part of my life, and I started noticing that, a lot of the conversations I was having with people, some of the most frustrating ones, some of the most enlightening ones, some of the most joyful ones, just took place over tea. And I started thinking about how tea was just an incredibly social beverage, and I wanted to create a piece that reflected the social nature of tea.
So hopefully my plans for my project is just to be just to be honest about my own experiences and my own views, and to communicate it in a way that can be celebrated and enjoyed by other people.
I find that students, they have a lot of dreams here, and they have so many yearnings, like I want to open my own academy, I want to become an artist, I want to work in a nonprofit, I want to travel, and there's so many dreams. And then once we leave this kind of bubble environment, real life catches on to us, and we kind of put those things aside for, I guess, more practical reasons. The title's Promise, and I want to kind of just use it as a way for students to actually physically write down something, or just document something that they'll remember.
My first November here in 2007, there was a graduate student who was killed when he was accosted on the street on Ellis. And I've just thought a lot about him, and feeling like that could have been me. And it's also really representative of how there's a lot of violence going on in the community around the University of Chicago, but I think it's easy, or we can feel disconnected, and then there are times when obviously those two things do meet and the violence affects the community. But I think as a resident of Hyde Park for 6 years, and someone who wants to be a good neighbor and wants to be connected, I wanted to do this project as a way of making sure that I didn't leave the University of Chicago never having sort of engaged with that really traumatic violence that's going on very close by.
I placed tempera paint, monochromatic tempera paint, glitter, glue, chalk powder, and slept on those canvases for 3 days. So it was 3 separate canvases over 3 separate days. And it's basically to record the subconscious mind, or the histories that you create in your subconscious state. So that's
The animals that I'm planning to draw are going to only take up a small portion of the paper, since I want to get across both the sense that these are creatures that have existed, and yet, for the most part, their disappearance has gone largely unnoticed.
It's called Maps. It's a large-scale painting of a nude figure, specifically interested in using color and lines to sort of explore the topology of a figure. I want my audience to sort of reconfigure their own view of their body in the way that it is seen as sort of an object as opposed to just something that we use.
I think it's really nice to be able to balance it and to not have to study it in order to, as an academic discipline, in order to be able to participate through extracurriculars. And I considered doing a visual arts major or minor for a while, but I found that it wasn't really for me, because my interest in art is mainly actually just producing and physically doing art. It's not so much about reading about it or studying its history or having discussions about art. And so that's why I didn't study it. But I do think it's nice to be able to balance it, be able to study what you want to do academically and have it as an extracurricular.
So UChicago is great because it gives me a lot of ideas in terms of the coursework. I think academics is very inspiring in terms of creating with art, because in academics you write a lot and you read a lot of theory and a lot of contradictory ideas, but with art you can just present something and it's true because it's just there. It's not, you can't contradict it. It's just shown to the world, this is what it is, make of it what you will.
And I think it's developed over the past 4 years immensely. Compared to how I felt that it was in first year, the limited amounts of festivals and opportunities there were for the arts, I feel that now it's ever present. Every week, every weekend, particularly with Logan being here, there's something in some way for artists to showcase their work.
in high school, I would think that my artistic limits were like making a play or a short story. But here, I guess not to sound like a cliche, but I don't see any limits. And like now, like I always want to propose a project or think of something new, even bigger and better.
Yeah, I mean, having the Logan Center opening up really changed a lot. And I always feel a little hesitant to say that as a second year, because I only really experienced U Chicago without the Logan Center for the first quarter of my first year. I mean, after that, you know, it was all talk and people were so excited about having this huge building open up. And now that it is open up, it sort of serves as like the arts hub on campus, which is really great in a lot of ways. And I also think that the way that U Chicago approaches art is it's very different from what I thought art was when I first got here. Really all that I knew and cared about in visual arts was the visualness of it. And then when I came here, you know, I remember like the first assignment in my basic 101 class was not even a painting, it was to read a book. So, and I mean, this is the place where you read Marx and you read social theory in your painting class, and you read like Hannah Arendt in your sculpture class. And I think that that's fascinating, and I think that it's a really interesting and sort of unique approach to art in a way that is so theoretical. And you're building all of these conceptual ties before you even like grapple with the physical material.
I think a lot of it is what the individual artists are willing to put into it. So I think if you don't go out looking to further yourself and to grow as an artist, it's going to be very difficult. But I find that if you do reach out and sort of look for that, it's definitely there. And it's wonderful now that we have the Logan Center. I think it's great.
For people who want to do these sorts of things, there are like a lot of resources. There's the Student Fine Arts Fund, and then like, you know, we have a good music department. Now that the Logan's here, it's great. There's like a ton of resources for students. So yeah, thank you University of Chicago Music Department for getting me this.
I think it's actually very constructive, but I think a lot of people question whether, or you know, I personally question, you know, should I have gone to an art school instead? But I think what I got the most out of University of Chicago is the interdisciplinary approach to the Common Core. So the fact that there's no differentiation between themes you can find in Hume and Soc and a poli-sci class or a philosophy class versus the elements you put in art. I think that art is not a subject per se. I think it's a platform for you to express your ideas, and I think that to put in ideas that can resonate with people, you have to figure out what are the timeless universal ideas you can put into your art. And I think that University of Chicago definitely helped me pursue those ideas.
I think that FOTA is a great organization to help and support arts in college students because it's a great way of self-expression, a way to get away from all the stress and mundane parts of life and just add a little excitement to your life.
It's been pretty good, particularly with the Logan Center. It's a really, really great new facility. And I've only been an art major for about 1.5 years now. I switched from math and physics, but it's been a really good environment to work in. The professors really care about the students' work.
Well, I think that U Chicago offers so many opportunities to be an artist. I live in Max, Pulaski Central, and we had Max Arts earlier, I think last quarter. And it's basically the same idea as this, but on a much smaller scale. And it's just open to all the residents of Max P, different types of performances. And so getting to do that was a great experience. And also just the different RSOs, like anything that you're interested in, there's probably an RSO for it, and if not, then you can make one. So I think it's very easy to be an artist at U Chicago.
So I took media aesthetics my first year, and I guess that sort of inspired me to think about images and art in a different way. We read Fun Home by Alison Bechdel my winter quarter freshman year, and that was like really the catalyst that started me getting interested in the comics. But even in Soc and like any other class, basically, there are ideas in that maybe don't necessarily teach you about how to, you know, draw or whatever, but like the ideas are important for inspiration.
Well, UChicago is definitely a very nurturing place for all things quirky, strange, not ordinary. So I think as an artist who enjoys doing things that are not ordinary, UChicago is really the perfect place for me to be. I don't think I could have done this anywhere else.
Well, I can't really say much about UChicago because I've only been here for, you know, just under a year. But you know, Logan is great. That cabaret series is really, really something cool. The Penthouse is a spectacular venue for people to play at. You know, it's nice because it's big, but it's also small. You know, you don't want to be performing in an amphitheater for your first time, and you know, it's great because people actually go to it, and it's very open. You know, as an emerging artist, you know, you're sort of shaky about your work and about how people will receive it. When you're in a setting like at Logan, it's very welcoming, and there's not, you aren't afraid you're gonna get like booed off or anything like that. I don't know if that actually happens, but it's nice because they have such a diverse array of acts that really you can do anything and feel confident about it.
And FOTA is awesome. Like, FOTA is so sweet as like a person, you know? So I'm really, really, really excited and grateful for FOTA. And then there's Art Should as well, which is a great avenue as well. And yeah, I think there's a lot of really great opportunities. And I think it's also nice to go to a university that's so academic and so not an art school, and to do art there, because people are, it's like they're a little bit more excited when art is happening, maybe.
But, you know, I love that kind of, you know, the UChicago environment suddenly changes into this kind of like wonderland of like random objects that are lying around, and like it's interesting to see how UChicago students kind of like, I don't know, interact with it. Sometimes people are like, oh, you know, what is this? Or these are some crazy artists like doing some performance, like, you know, arts. But I think it's great to kind of just like put it out there and like put it in the everyday, so that, you know, it's a week long, and like, you know, you'll be going to classes, and then you'll always be seeing this one artwork or something new. And you know, I think it's just a great time for people to like reflect and really think about just art in daily life. So.
Well, I do think that the University of Chicago does a great job of supporting arts, and even for students like me who are not in the arts, and I'm really grateful for that. And so I hope other people who are interested in arts but not maybe in art programs or degree programs here, that they can take advantage of that. I got an art science initiative grant as well from the University of Chicago to do something else, and that was really rewarding. I love that. And so, yeah, I think University of Chicago students are lucky to have those kind of resources. I hope, who sees mine, I hope students here notice it and think about how connected they are to the community that they live in. And then, like I said, I hope some outside community people can come in, and in that way, also for them, they can have an opportunity to engage with the university in a way that they probably usually don't.
I think if you aren't a visual arts major, and if you're not actively going to like the great art activities on campus, like at the Renaissance Society or at Logan, or like making use of like the free entrance you get at like the MCA or SAIC, if you're not taking advantage of those opportunities, it might be hard, or it might be very easy to get swamped with the coursework that you have. And I find myself not really making artwork besides photography, which I can just like, you know, snap a button and like whatever catches my eye, that sort of thing. If I'm not like forced to do something for a class, then I find myself like buried in my science coursework.
I guess I would say to just be mindful of the way that both art and sciences are constantly influencing our perceptions of the world at large, and the way that they can spark these really interesting discussions about what we can and cannot be. as humans.
I just hope that people have their eyes open and their ears, you know, and walk around in the week of FOTA ready to be a part of something maybe a little scary.
My hopes, I hope FOTA, I know FOTA at the moment, we do support a lot of student artists on campus, and I hope that grows. I hope we work with more student artists. I hope student artists come to us with ideas and projects they want to fulfill. I really hope that FOTA reaches as many students on campus, and the students I want to reach are those who aren't necessarily involved with arts at UChicago, the ones who aren't interested in it and think it's stupid. Like, I want to reach them and make sure that they know that's going on and they have an opinion about it and they start to care about it, because I think that's really important for us, because especially as students, people are trying new things every day, and I really hope that FOTA is a part of that and like pushes people to explore their creative side, because that's like a really important part of campus life here, I think.
Just, you know, I'm excited to pursue my project, and I hope they enjoy the pictures I have to show.
Just go out and enjoy art, try to create art, try to understand the world around you and express it, and don't be afraid to make a social statement.
Go out and view things, and for the rest of the year, go out and see what your peers are doing, because there are exceptionally talented people on this campus, you know, and I don't count myself among them. I'm inspired by, you know, a lot of people that there are out there, particularly in visual art, that do great things that aren't often seen. So I hope people go and take advantage of this opportunity and this festival and throughout the rest of the year.
I hope you guys love my work. Don't be mad if it like blocks your way of like walking somewhere because you're trying to cut to class. It's the name of art, I guess. And I can't wait to see you guys at the show.
I hope they have a wonderful time. It should be a great event, and I hope that they get to do as much as they can during the week.
Enjoy the show. I'll be putting up sketchbooks actually next to my painting, because I really want it to be a platform for dialogues. So hopefully more people can write, respond to the paintings in whatever way they want. It can be a duel even, or words, text, whatever it is.
I just hope everyone enjoys the work that's installed. I think it's a really great way for people to see what students are up to creatively.
I would just say that I think FOTA is a really awesome opportunity. I'm really impressed with what they've put together and the funding they've been able to gather, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to have a venue in which to show my work to people.
I hope that the viewers enjoy FOTA Week. Hopefully my piece, hopefully all the pieces. I think as a student, sometimes you don't always get to know what's going on around campus, and you're kind of just sheltered, and you don't know what other students are doing, and I think FOTA Week is just going to be an incredible opportunity to see what people have going on, you know, outside of their academic lives. So
Don't watch me. You know, a lot of work is going into this, and yeah, I think it's going to be really something worth listening to. So
I think that everybody should try to either pursue an art or to appreciate it, and hopefully FOTA does that for people.
For all artists and all audiences, to I guess like keep challenging ourselves and to always be experimental and never rely on just like one form of style or one form of genre, because that's what the arts is all about, reaching a variety of audiences. So.
Well, I hope to be contributing a little bit of openness to campus with this project, to have sort of, this is our art. Like, I would not be doing what I'm doing if there were not people who were inspiring and people who were watching, like looking and open and inspired by them and able to express their appreciation. So I very much see this as like a really connective, collaborative thing. The point being to give back or thank UChicago for being the house of so many unique individuals. And thank you UChicago for being cool and giving me a chance to be here and spread the love. Like, that sounds so corny, but like we can be shy, and sometimes it just takes one person to make the first kind of ice-breaking thing to just, you know, help people be themselves.